Good morning, wonderful people, great Biafrans, lovers of freedom, the brave youths of Nigeria. This Tuesday, the 27th of October, in the year of Omustai Elohim 2020, with the time now standing at precisely 5 minutes past 7 a.m. in the land of Biafra, and by the same number of minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you're domiciled. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. This is a live presentation going out to the entirety of humanity, a gospel of truth and a gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, and a gospel of restoration. We are here to do that which is right before God Almighty in heaven and men on this very earth. And that work to restore the kingdom of heaven upon the face of the earth is unrelenting. We are moving forward and we are never ever going to stop. We are in the midst of a revolution. We are in the midst of changing times in the zoo and in the whole of Africa at large. Brave Nigerian youths are doing all they can. Those who have taken refuge in ethnicity and tribalism and religion, they are trying their damned best to see if there is any way they can douse these embers of revolution in the hearts of our young people. And they have failed, and they will continue to fail. This very morning, please, as always, get your pen and paper ready if you've come to learn, because this is the finest and the very best university in the whole world, where truth is preached uncompromisingly. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, without doubt the largest mass movement of its kind anywhere on this very earth. Even our enemies now admit that all the youth of Nigeria is under one command. One simple command. They now understand it. I am the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra, and now also a servant of the brave youths of Nigeria. Once again, I welcome you and try to welcome all the people. We have so many enemies. And if you did not download Twitter app yesterday, if you're not on Twitter, today is your chance to make sure you are on that platform. I don't even care if you put your grandma on Twitter as well, or your grandpa, it doesn't matter. Everybody must be on it. All they need to do is to click retweet, to like, or not to like any particular post, depending on the tone and nature of it. You must follow one another. But above all, you must follow Radio Biafra, and you must follow me. Very, very important. Very, very, everybody must be on Twitter. Everybody. If you call this morning and you are not on Twitter, and you cannot tell us your Twitter handle, then you will not speak on Radio Biafra. You will not speak on Radio Biafra this morning unless you are on Twitter. You cannot speak or call Radio Biafra, regardless of the information you have, because downloading Twitter app and registering and becoming active on Twitter doesn't take you anything, it doesn't cost you anything. We have information that we want the world to know. They will try to suppress it, but we want the world to hear it. We are going to pray very briefly before we continue this very morning. Once again, this is a live presentation. The time now is 9 minutes past 7 a.m. in the land of Biafra. 9 minutes past the top of the hour where you are. Anywhere you are in the world, if you look at your timepiece, you look at your time, it is now 9 minutes past. That tells you that we are live. If it is not 9 minutes past, then we are not live. You are listening to a blog or a repeat broadcast. This very morning we must pray, as it is customary for us to do on this noble platform, on this hallowed and sacred radio station. And I'm going to pray a very simple prayer of Yahweh Yeshua. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. But not corrupt evil politicians who are killing their own people. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, all the power, all the glory, all the adulation belongs to you. Now and forevermore we pray. He say, and also if you want to speak to us this morning, please make sure you download or you are on Signal app as well. Signal, S-I-G-N-L, like to signal somebody. S-I-G-N-A-L. We are live and we are direct. And Chukwukika Biama is bearing us witness. This very morning, right now, happening in Iguacha, because we, in conjunction with the Fulani Janjaweed, they want to provoke us into a war in Iguacha. They are going from house to house this very morning and arresting ordinary IPOB family members. That is what they are doing. Those who are advising Wike, I am sure he understands the consequences of his actions. I am sure they understand the consequences of their actions because they will pay very dearly for it. Right now, this morning, they are going house to house. People called OSPAC, the police and the army in Iguacha, in Obibo. That one idiot yesterday said it's Oyibo. God will punish all of you. Ndioshi, Fulani slaves in Iguacha, shameless Fulani slaves. Some of you tried this nonsense during the war and you failed. You are slaves today. In your land, there is no development. After all your iswimi, after all your sabo work, after your treachery, see how poor you are. See how poor you are. Wike is leading all of you to destruction. Those of you in the army, in the police, and in OSPAC, because he is trying to make Iguacha ungovernable. He is trying to make River State ungovernable. That thing he wants, is going to get it. The army and the police are going about, if you're going to work, you're going to your farm, you're going to open your small business, they arrest you. That is what Wike is doing. That is what Wike is doing. And the world will hear his story. That idiot, that stupid idiot, the world will hear his story. And they will know what shall become of them. They should go to Aburi State and ask them. When we come after you, you'll be begging. You will beg. And we will tell you to go to hell. All of you idiots now supporting that fool that doesn't know that he was elected by the people. That fool. He is going to pay very dearly for it. Right now, this morning, that is what they are doing. Ordinary family members are being arrested in a time when people are campaigning and are agitating for an end to police and army brutality. Wike has taken it upon himself to serve the Fulani. Wike is an absolute disgrace. And he will be disgraced the same way that this morning, and not just this morning, we have found the Aburi Accord tapes. Inside those tapes, all the lies against Biafra, all the lies against our eternal leader, Dim Chukwemeko Demegwu Chukwu, is going to be blown out of the water, as I have written this morning. The same way we exposed Jubril, the same way we exposed the death of Buhari, the same way we exposed the mask-wearing Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad, the same way we exposed the fact that Aso Rock is empty, is how we are going to expose the lies of the BBC, the lies of the British government against our people, the lies of successive Nigerian media against our people. All their lies, all their subterfuge has now come to an end because we have the original Aburi tapes. I am not going to release these tapes unless we are all on Twitter, because once we begin the revelations in the tape, we want the whole world to hear it. Because once we start, there will, as always, be a concerted attempt and effort to suppress it, to kill the news. That is how the zoo operates. But we must continue. We must continue, and in continuation of the propagation of the truth contained in the Aburi Accord, the tapes of their which they have refused to release since 1967. They refused to release these tapes to tell the whole world that Ojukwu did not unilaterally declare Biafra. Go on, the Fulani cabal, the Janjaweed oligarchy, and the British refused to release these tapes. Instead, they have sent their army. We are tracking them. I don't know where they are. I got up. I slept very late. Of course, we got up this morning after praying. We are here live, broadcasting to the world. And after this, I will get the latest updates, the intel on their movement. But what I'm telling you this very morning is that there is a house-to-house arrest of IPOB family members. And you know, in the zoo, once you're arrested without anybody knowing about it, the next is summary execution. In other words, Wike must know that the life of his own family is also in danger, because he is endangering the lives of other people. Wike is going house to house, arresting people and disappearing them in Iguacha this very morning. They are arresting people and disappearing them this very morning. We know a way to counter it, and once I leave the air this morning, we shall swing into action. We are going to counter them. We will swing into action. We are going to disgrace Wike and make his life hell on this very earth. He's a very stupid man. And whoever is leading this group of people, arresting the innocent, you people must also know that your days too are numbered. You are going to beg eventually. And when you do, we are not going to listen. Keep doing hard man, Fulani hard man. Fulani hard man. They issued a statement yesterday, and in that statement, I have never read so much falsehood in my life. So much falsehood in my life. We want people this morning to understand that being on Twitter is important. The foundations of the zoo is rocking as we speak. And we want people, we want all of you to understand that Biafra is inevitable. The coming of Biafra is inevitable. You cannot stop us. You cannot stop what we are doing. I am going to read out this very statement issued by Wike and his people, and I want you to understand the type of mentality that man possesses. I want you to understand that Wike, in keeping with his little Hitler mustache, is a deluded animal. They said, this is a statement by River State government. We can never be against any ethnic group. We can never do that. We have lived in harmony with the Igbos, IBOS. Wike is an Igbo man. He is saying he has lived in harmony with the Igbos. Are you telling me that that man is okay in the brain? Do you see what Fulani has done to you people? Do you see how Nigeria have destroyed the last grains of common sense that some of you may possess? Some, I said. We live in harmony with the Igbos, IBOS, not IGBOS, IBOS, and he is an Igbo man. You see that mentality of Ohaneze, that mentality of rejecting yourself in order to serve the Fulani Janjaweed cause. Do you see these people that they are all the same? Do you see why we despise these wicked, evil politicians? He's an Igbo man. He's calling his fellow, he's in Igbo land. He is saying they are Igbos, IBOS, which means that they are foreigners. Oh God in heaven. And so Nigerians must commend River State as a place where you have never had problems within this group and that group. We are now groups. Igbo people, there are groups. And maybe, oh God, unbelievable. There is one terrorist group they call IPOB. And what we are now going to do in Iguacha is this. As Fulani terrorists are going about killing some people, we are going to keep quiet. There's something we did in Ebonyi until you beg and start asking for IPOB to defend you. Wike is leading you into the arms of the caliphate. Nupe tried the same thing. Hausa tried the same thing. Gwari tried the same thing. Today they are all crying. Today they are all lamenting and complaining. The same thing that Wike wants to do in Biafra land by giving our land to the Fulani. The same thing that Umahi tried and failed very spectacularly to do in Ebonyi. But today, we have recovered our land, and we are not going to allow to succeed. We have a plan in place, and we are going to execute it imminently for you to know that we know what we are doing. We are going to capture all of them and teach them the lesson of their lives. You know what they said? Go to Oyi Igbo, and see what they have done. Oyi Igbo, not Obi Igbo anymore, but Oyi Igbo. Because that's one thing the Fulani learned from the British the Fulani learned from the British, and now the Fulani have taught the fools and the idiots that call the Delta and South fools. If you refer to yourself as such, you're a fool. And now they renamed, that's what they do. They believe in renaming. They renamed Obibo, Oyibo, and that's what Wike, an Igbo man, is doing. Wike is calling Obibo, Oyibo. Anyway, we are not going to wait for them till their stupid 2023 elections. We are going. But you see why we say you shouldn't trust these people and why you shouldn't vote for them. You see the way they're behaving? You see the way they are conducting themselves. I am from Isiama Faruku Ibeku. I am an Igbo man. So if the Fulani were to come to me now and give me some money, or maybe rig me into office as the Abia State governor, and proceed to say that Abia State is now Niger Delta, I will start referring to people as Igbo people. You see those Igbo people from Obakala. You see Igbos, we have been living in harmony with you in Omoaha. These Igbo people from Ohoho, we've been living with you. Do you see how demented they are? Do you know that Wike is actually worse than Umahi and Ibazu and Obiano? Are you aware of that? Do you know that Wike is worse than all these people put together? He is an Igbo man referring to his fellow Igbos as Igbo. And I want to ask Wike, you and who have been living in harmony with the Igbos? His name is Nyesom Wike, Igbo man with Igbo name. Do you see that Chibika Mechi is better than Wike? At least Chibika Mechi doesn't deny the fact that he's an Igbo man. Do you see that Peter Odele is better than Wike? Peter Odele, of course, he hides it, but he doesn't deny the fact that he's an Igbo man. Peter Odele wanted to contest for the presidency of the zoo. Peter Odele went to Obasanjo. Obasanjo is a very clever man, and asked Obasanjo and said to Obasanjo, I want to contest. And Obasanjo said, but where are you from? He said he's from River State. Obasanjo said, no, you must come from somewhere. That's in Nigeria. For you to contest, you must have an ethnic group. What is your ethnicity? He said he's from, Obasanjo said, go back. When you remember who you are, then you come to me. Go and ask Peter Odele. Peter Odele went to Obasanjo, wanted to contest for the presidency of the zoo under PDP, Obasanjo asked him a simple question. Where are you from? He said he's from Rivers. Obasanjo told him that nobody comes from Rivers. He said Niger Delta. Obasanjo said nobody comes from Niger Delta. What is your ethnic group? Me, I am a Yoruba. I can't say, if you ask me who's Obasanjo, I'll say I'm from the West. Or somebody say I'm from the North. No. What is your ethnic group? Where do you come from? Odili could not open his mouth to say he's Igbo. That's why his name never went forward. And that was why they never promoted him. Or else, the position that Jonathan occupied under Yaradua should have gone to Peter Odili. But Peter Odili was confused. He didn't know where he came from. And because of that, he was not allowed to proceed to Asharok. Now that tells you all you need to know about some of these people, especially their politicians, groomed by the Fulani to run our lives. With Wike now, it is very, very clear to all and sundry that he is serving Fulani Janjaweed cause. A woman was going to the farm this morning, a woman of nearly 60 years old, and she was arrested by Wike, the Nigeria Army and the Nigeria Police. And I'm sure they will kill her. And the day we get upset and we express that anger, and some of you will start complaining. But now, this morning, that Wike arrested a 58-year-old woman going to the farm. None of you is saying anything. Punch newspaper will not write it. Yoruba media will not report it. But the day we react, they will report it and they will carry it. I hope you're following. If you know Wike this very morning, tell him that we are aware of what they are doing. And we are going to do something in Obibo and every stronghold of Biafran people in Biafran territory, fighting against Janjaweed occupation. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do, but we're going to do it. And we are going to stop them imminently. Because that is what Europeans will do. When they see a problem, they try to solve it. They don't leave it and keep lamenting. They try to solve it. And that is what we are going to do this morning. As I said earlier, we have the Aburi tapes, which we asked for, and now we have them. And in the coming weeks, we are going to be releasing it to the whole world, that the world may know why Biafra must be restored. And during the release of these Aburi tapes, we would also be reinforcing our call to ICC to arrest Gowon, to arrest Obasanjo, to arrest, of course, Buhari is dead, he's no longer alive, to arrest all war criminals that participated in the genocide that resulted in the loss of over 5 million Biafran people that they bribed Ohaneze not to talk about. We are going to discuss all of those things. Those tapes will be coming out, one after the other, batch by batch. We know that the BBC will not carry it. We know that the Zoo media will not carry it. That is why we all need to be on Twitter to make sure we place it in the hands of not just the United Nations, not just the very corrupt and useless African Union, but in the hands of every conscientious leader around the world. That every media outlet in Africa has it, that African people will become properly schooled on the truth about Biafra and Nigeria war. That is told by the BBC, and Britain will be exposed, and our great leader, may his soul rest in peace, will be vindicated. That is what we do. We do not rest. We research every blessed day. We dig out information every blessed day And now that this one is in the public domain, we are going to make sure that the rest of the world is aware of it. And then Wike can cover his face in shame. In shame. The Nigeria army and police, they have not stopped to. They have not stopped to. They are still assaulting people. They are still killing people. Despite the words of the Irish Prime Minister warning the zoo, army and police not to be abusing the rights of people, they are still doing it. Even yesterday, a lady called Adoma, a Biafran, was assaulted yesterday morning, by this time yesterday, at UBA Bank branch in Oshodi area of Lagos. And there is a video evidence to that effect. The soldier in the video that was released can be seen removing his belt and assaulting Adoma, who was recording the incident as they were flogging her and beating her, a Nigerian soldier. Do you see why people are protesting? Because these vagabonds can never change. End SARS, end SARS. Oh, go back. We have listened to you. Have you seen the way they behave? They have not listened to you. These fools will never listen to you. These people that presided over no electricity for over 60 years, to you. That is what they always do. They will tell you to go home, do not protest. We have listened to you, and nothing will ever happen. Things will remain the same. Has it occurred to you that nobody has been shot dead in the core north looting palliative warehouse, or warehouses as the case may be? But in the south, they are shooting and killing people, looting palliative warehouses, which goes to show that Fulani people in the army, their intent or their intention is to reduce the number of young people in the south as much as possible. What they is to use the likes of Wike to plant and to establish Fulani colonies in our land, so that in years to come, they will say, oh, this part is Igbo, in Iguacha. Oh, in River State, this part is Fulani. That is what they want to do. That is what they want to do. Do you see it? That you cannot reform the Nigerian army or the police. It is in their mindset. It is in their DNA. They will always abuse and assault innocent people. They will always kill innocent people. And let me tell you something. Because the lady assaulted is an Igbo lady, is a Biafran residing in Lagos, no news will carry it. But had we all been on Twitter, we can get the video to trend. And once something trends on Twitter, media houses will pick it up regardless. Do you see why we all need to be on Twitter? If you are not on Twitter, if you call me this morning, I will curse you. If you are not on Twitter, if you call Radio Biafra this morning, I will lay curse on you. Our sister was assaulted in Lagos. Do you think that Yoruba media will carry it? Of course they won't. They will not carry it. Do you carry it? No, they will not carry it. Do you think the BBC will carry it? Of course they will not. Because they are agents of the oppressor. Or agent of the oppressors. We have to put our news out there in the world. The essence of this program this morning is to make sure that everybody, to download Twitter takes you about, let's say, not up to 50 seconds. You download it and you register with your email. They will ask you for a name. Then you just give them a name. It doesn't matter if you can write good English or not. I am not asking you to go on Twitter and start writing good English. No, you need to be on Twitter so that when others tweet, you can simply retweet. That is your job. We are not asking you to compose anything. We are not asking you to write anything. We are just saying follow people and retweet what they tweet. Do you understand it? Our sister posted hers on Twitter. Luckily for her, how did I know that this thing happened to her was because there is a blogging site called betutv.com, blogging site. That was where we came across the news, and I'm bringing it to you this morning. She was assaulted by a Nigerian army. Do you see what your children are going to go through, and your children and their children and their children, if you allow Nigeria to exist the way it is? Do you want to be flogged by the army and abused every blessed day? When you raise your voice to say, come and they beat you up? Or as Wike is doing, going house to house and arresting people? If tomorrow now we arrest Wike's children, I think all of you will start shouting. But Wike is busy arresting people's mothers, arresting their children with the help of his fallen masters. They are busy beating up our sister in Oshodi, in Lagos. Nigeria army, flogging her, and she bravely recorded it. Without the use of Twitter, do you think you know about this thing? Because if she were to post this thing on Facebook, nobody will pay attention. You have to be on Twitter. Everybody has to be on Twitter. And you must do so this morning before you call. If you do not download and be on Twitter before calling this morning, may God help you. And as you call, I'm going to ask you for your name. I have a way to I have Twitter here with me. I am logged into Twitter here with me. If you call this morning, I'll ask you for your Twitter handle. If you tell me, I will go and I'll type it in and I'll see if you're there or not. If you're lying, may God help you. May God help you. Buratai, they claim there is no Buratai, of course. Buratai, they claim, is saying that, oh my goodness, zoo. Let me read it for you. I am not scared of movement boycott because we told them they can no longer travel. So Buratai is responding to us the same way that Falana responded yesterday. Falana, people are these are people that claim that they are learned and they are very, very smart. Falana, he's a son, a man that when I was arrested, got in contact with my attorney, Barrister Fanny Ejiofor, to ask how I'm doing and to ask what can be done to try to remedy the situation or try to give me adequate legal representation. Falana. Niger Eye published a video, a very short clip. Niger Eye, I think it's Niger is N-I-J-A-I, then Niger, N-I-J-A-E-Y-E, Niger Eye. And they're doing a very good job anyway. Niger Eye published a clip of Falana where he was basically calling me a foreigner, an outsider. Falana, you see, with all his education, I want people to understand the hypocrisy of your average Nigerian. That is why I hate Nigeria. Because they are hypocrites. Femi Falana is a senior advocate. He is a man of the law. So we are led to believe. He is learned. He is erudite. And I believe conscientious as well. But Falana, because he is a Yoruba man, is calling me an outsider that I nearly burnt down Lagos from the comfort of my home because I do not belong to Lagos. I am an Igbo man. I am a Biafran. So Falana was one of those pushing the ethnic line. Falana was one of those tribal bigots. If you see him on TV, you would think he's affable. You would think he's a good man. You would think he is a good Nigerian. But deep down, he is a tribal bigot. Falana, son. I saw him shouting like a caged, deranged animal. You know me, I tell you the truth. I don't give a damn who you are. Falana was shouting like a madman, saying that I nearly burnt down Lagos. Because Lagos is not Igbo land. Now, if you are not sensible or reasonable, you won't understand where they are going. I always read between the lines. Always, without fail, I read between the lines. Falana is a tribal, ethnic bigot. People will say that he's representing El Zagzagi. But he's getting paid for it. That's his job. Even if somebody were to commit murder and comes to your office as a lawyer and say, I committed murder, I killed somebody, do you know what the legal ethics says you must do? You must represent that person regardless of their crime. And you must go to court and defend them as vigorously as you can and try to get them acquitted. Though you know they're guilty. So, before you come to tell me that Falana is not an ethnic bigot that is representing El Zagzagi, I want you to understand this about how the law operates. Falana in that very clip was seen saying that I was trying to destabilize their Nigeria. Every year, what Falana does is to shout and to scream. Every year, things are bad. Police did this, police did that. We are going to take you to ICC, and we are going to take you to court. And he knows the court does not work in Nigeria. Now that young people took it upon themselves to hold Tinubu responsible for the carnage and the murder, the slaughter at Lekki toll gate, because of tribe and ethnicity, people that should know better, they are defending murderers because they are from their tribe. They are from their ethnic group. They are defending killers the same way that a Fulani Janjaweed will defend Buratai, the same way they will defend the late dead Buhari. You people support evil based on your tribe. Your tribesman is committing murder, is committing manslaughter. You are there looking, you will defend him. He's from your tribe. And you want me to believe in one Nigeria. It's a good thing that the young people have done. It has now shown everybody that those you believe or you thought we are normal, that they are all tribalists. All of them. All of them tribal bigots. All of them. Femi Falana is a tribal bigot. He is. You see him and you think he's smart. He's learned. But deep down, he's a tribalist. A tribalist of the worst kind. He is a chameleon. All the years of human rights abuses, we take you to court. We take you to court. What has come out of it? They always play to the gallery. Nigeria is full of hypocrites. Nigeria is full of deceivers. The likes of Wike. Deceivers. When they speak, you think they are normal. But in action, you know who they are. Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria, is an ethnic bigot. When I say it, they say, oh, you shouldn't. Don't. I say, shut up your stupid, stinking, dirty mouth. That is why Africa is poor. You idiots, you are afraid of the truth. You idiots, you are afraid of the truth. That is why you have no electricity. Because if the idiot running NEPA is from your village and stealing money, you defend him. Femi Falana said that I could have, I came close to burning down Lagos. That's what he said. And you have no right doing that because you are not a Yoruba man. That is what they are saying. But it is about Nigeria. Do you see how devilish and hypocritical these animals are? Wearing their wig, calling themselves my learned brother, my learned sister, my learned friend. Deep down, they are ethnic bigots. So the introduction of the ethnic angle or dimension into the End SARS protest was pioneered, or should I say championed, by the likes of Femi Falana. And from today, he has no respect anymore. Where we are,